Wrestling fans, promoters, wrestlers, and anyone who enjoys pro wrestling now have something new to be excited about. The Wrestling Fans International Association, the WFIA, is back. WFIA is an association that exists to promote, grow, and support professional wrestling throughout the world. Membership is free. Your membership includes a free digital bi-monthly publication of the Wrestling Fan News newsletter, association updates, voting privileges, and much more. Please go to thewfia.org, that's THEWFIA.org, and become a member today. Welcome to another edition of Bumps and Thumps, the Talk of Wrestling. I'm Brian Ferguson. My guest today has been a part of the pro wrestling business for over 20 years. He has held numerous singles and tag team championships on the independent circuit and is currently the Mid-States Southern Heavyweight Champion. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Gary Roosevelt Gram. Thank you for coming on today, sir.
Hey, how's it going, man? It's good to talk to you.
Good. I'm glad you're able to come on today. So, I know you're a busy man and got things going on, so appreciate it. All right, let's dive into it, Gary. Let's talk about growing up. Tell us where you grew up, kind of your family life and schooling, things of that nature, if you would, please.
Gotcha. For the most part, I grew up in Green Forest, Arkansas. I lived other places when I was little, but I don't know if that counts. But went to school there. I did a little bit of everything from Boy Scouts. I was in the marching band until I was a senior. Played football, baseball, ran track, all conference football, defensive end. Don't forget that.
All right.
But yeah, I just keep myself busy. I think if it wasn't for sports, I don't think I would have finished school.
Yeah. Sometimes sports is a good outlet for people. You know, it does provide that. Okay, so let's talk about you getting into the business. So what prompted you say, you know what, I want to be a professional wrestler? I just woke up one day and said I want to be one.
Oh, I think I was saying that since I was probably about 10. I was always talking about it. But I was actually, I think I just graduated high school. That's probably about 2 months out. And I was sitting at my buddy, Mike Mathis, sitting at his house. And he was reading the newspaper, and in the paper it had a wrestling school in the newspaper. So I called that phone number, and that's how I got my foot in the door.
All right. And who trained you, and how did that kind of progress?
Well, originally it was at Adrian Steele had a school in Springdale. That's where I originally went to. Learned a little bit, but then a lot of other people had their hand in on training me. I never really had like one specific trainer.
Okay.
I bounced around a lot, and I don't know if I'd count my first few years wrestling either. That was pretty rough.
So where did you start out at as a wrestler once you got out of school or out of your training school and kind of broke in, I guess, if you will? Where did you start out at?
Had my first match here in Arkansas, and bounced around with that group that Adrian still had, and then I used to go up and on the weekends and train up at Harley Races. But
Eldon. In Eldon or in Troy?
In Eldon.
Yeah.
But the thing is I didn't pay Harley to train me, so he'd never use me in the shows. I was buddies with a lot of his guys, so I'd go up there on Friday nights and train, and he wouldn't charge me nothing to train, but on the flip side, he would never use me. But it was fun.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, WLW, World League Wrestling, that's really where as far as indies, really got interested in the indie promotion part of it. Because I was stationed at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, which was only about, 45 minutes from there then. So I would go up there and watch the matches and stuff like that, and I really enjoyed it. So that's interesting. So, all right, you got your training a little bit with up with Harley. Okay, so talk us through a little bit about after that. So you got into somewhere else in Arkansas, Missouri,
Mostly,
Kansas.
yeah, Kansas a little bit, mostly Arkansas and Oklahoma.
Okay.
Around after that time, I hooked up with that NWA Oklahoma.
Okay.
But I think they ended up calling themselves NWA Universal or something. They went belly up, but that was good times. I worked there for a little bit. I was their ex champ for a little bit. That was fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got in with Jason Jones,
Yes.
Space Cowboy, Mid States Wrestling. He's had his promotion, I think, about a little over 20 years. I think about started in 2000.
Yeah,
When did you end up there and kind of refining your craft, if you will?
Actually, when I had my first match, Jason Jones was at that show. It was the first time I met him.
Okay.
And then he never booked me on his mid state shows till probably about 6 months to a year in. Then he finally
Okay.
booked me. I came in and started putting everybody over and realized, hey, he can actually work a little bit. Then I finally got some wins.
Well, I know he's a pretty. He's got this training down there I believe it's Tuesday or somewhere
Yes.
during the week. I know, and
Yeah, I
I
got
hear
a
a
hand in
lot.
on that.
Okay,
I,
I was gonna
yeah.
say I hear a lot of good things about those training sessions from other people I've had on here. So tell us a little bit about that. If you're involved in that, tell us how that works.
I usually just go run those guys through the ringer and piss them off. You know, but it's actually fun. Go down
Yeah, how
there
long
and
are the sessions? About 2 hours or 3 hours?
we go about 2.5, 3. It just matters how many people show up. Sometimes 3 show up, sometimes 10 show up.
Okay.
But yeah, I pretty much I just run them through the ringer. I try not to stick too much in a training session because your
Yeah.
mind can only absorb so much. So we usually stick to 1 or 3 things and do them until they're annoyed with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Judy Azul, she mentioned you.
Oh,
I had her on a few weeks back. That you had a big hand in her development, as well as Niles Plonke, excuse me.
Plonky. Yeah. Yeah. Me and Niles go
So,
back a long way.
yeah, tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that relationship, you and Niles. How did that
Oh
come about
shoot.
and form?
I think I was wrestling maybe a year whenever he started, and it seemed every indie place we went in Oklahoma, Kansas, Arkansas, I ended up wrestling. He was the Crow then, Craig the
Okay.
Crow. Yeah, yeah. I think, and he's one of those guys that we don't even talk about much.
Yeah,
We just go by feeling. We have the same mindset. It's good times when I work Craig Niles.
that's good.
Yeah.
Niles, yes,
Yes.
Niles Plonke.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I've heard a lot of good things about him too, as far as his training other people, him working with other people. That he is just one of the best
Oh yeah.
at that. And I've always wondered, I hear all this good stuff about him and others like yourself, not up at that next level. Why aren't you guys at that level? You don't want to be, or if it's just not you haven't been called yet, or it's just.
Do you ever wonder what would happen if
If you give a dad a podcast.
I'm what you call a nerdy fan. I nerd out at this stuff hardcore.
you'll hear me talk about anime on here, you'll hear me talk about Power Rangers, you'll hear me talk about wrestling on here.
Okay.
I had a axe handle with a Twisted Tea on it. It was right after that Twisted Tea video went viral. And man, they went out and grabbed it and smacked a dude in the head with it. It was so...
That's great. I'd like to think of this podcast as a nostalgia moment for me. It's a show where I can talk about whatever I want.
I'm a human animal chiropractor. There was a picture of me. It looked like I was on the side of a ramen box over in China. But
So I took my kids with me to Comic-Con.
I thought that was really cool.
Well, I don't know if my wife should listen to this podcast.
We'll cut that part out.
You hope. Be like, and then Robert said this.
If you give a dad a podcast, Available now on all podcasting platforms.
I'm just horrible at the politics part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell my opinion when I probably shouldn't sometimes, and that usually hurts me. Yeah. And that's what, like, going back to Judy, that's why she likes me, because when she asks my opinion on something, I tell her, I don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
Like if it looked bad, I'm going to say it looked bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's good. People need to hear the truth. You know, we need to quit being politically correct, if you will. And
Oh yeah, and I'm not good at that.
Yeah, I'm not either. You're not the only one. All right, so how long have you been the mid-state Southern champion? I know it's been a while.
Oh shoot, I think it's only been maybe 2 months, 3 months.
No.
Yeah, for the Southern title.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought it was longer than that. Okay.
No.
Have you had it before?
No, it's the first time I've had the Southern title.
Okay.
I've been their heavyweight champ.
Okay, that's where I'm getting confused then, because I've seen you with a title. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about some other promotions you work for. How about Rockwell's Wrestling for a Cause? New Breed.
Never worked for New Breed. Talked to Doc Ison up there a couple times, but never went up there. But that WFC for Timmy, I've worked for him one time already, and I'm actually supposed to go there this weekend and debut a new character. So
okay,
same name, different character.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So I've heard a lot of good things about that promotion, Wrestling for a Cause. It do a lot of work with kids and so you worked there once. What was the atmosphere like for you? Was it good? Was it as good as Mid-States?
I don't know. Mid-States has a great locker room. Everybody gets along. Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody over there, everybody's nice and polite. I just went that one time, and it was a smaller show, so it was a smaller locker room, but everybody got along. Everything seemed to go smooth.
Yeah.
It's ran pretty good over there.
Okay. Fan base. Usually when I go to a Mid-States, it's packed. You've got a line usually. Every time I've been there, you've got a line. People are coming up, wanting a picture with you, get an autograph, buy a T-shirt, get a picture signed or something. What's that like for you? What's that feeling like when fans come up to you and say, you know what? I just love what you do. And what's that feeling like for you?
Oh, it's humbling, big time.
Yeah.
It does feel good because when I was a kid and I'd ask wrestlers for an autograph, I got denied.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That makes you feel like crap. Yeah. And that's something, even when I'm a heel, I'm still going to sign it because I was that 8-year-old kid that asked a guy for an indie worker. I asked him for his autograph and he kept his arms crossed. He was a babyface and just told me no. I ended up working him later on and told him that too. And he just laughed. But, but yeah, it's a great feeling.
Yeah. I will say, like, you guys, Mid-States, the heels and the baby faces, they're all professional. They're all approachable as far as when you guys are out at your tables. Take a picture, you bet, no problem. And that encourages people to buy your merchandise. To me, what I mean? It'll say, okay, toxic masculinity. I'll give you a great example. Those guys, they're bad guys, but they're good guys at the same time. You know what I mean? They're kind of like that mixture. But they'll sign your stuff, no problem. They don't ask for money. None of you do. You never ask for money. That's what I love. You guys don't say, well, I get $10 first before I sign anything. None of you all do that. So then when I get the picture or I get you know what, I'm going to buy a T-shirt. How much are they? $20? Okay. I'll buy one. That to me tells me a lot about you guys and how the organization's ran. So kudos.
Just taking that extra 2 minutes and talking to a kid and asking them, just you doing good in school or something like that. You'd be surprised
Yep.
they'll come back and their parents will bring money. But
Yep.
it's that 5 seconds you spend with that kid, because I was that kid.
Yep. Yeah. And I'll be honest, the first time I went to a show at Mid States, I didn't do much of the approachment because usually at shows, I got to have $10 to sign something or whatever. I won't sign anything until you buy a picture. And I didn't know, at first. But then I talked to a couple of the guys, and I found out it's the whole organization runs it just like you guys do, approachable. And let me ask you this: being a heel versus a baby face, what do you prefer? What do you like to do?
Being a heel is more fun.
Yeah.
You make more money. You make more money being a baby face selling stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, popping the crowd is so fun as a baby, but healing,
Yeah.
it's more fun. A lot more fun.
You can have that inner demon come out of you, right? That you can't. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this, Gary.
So,
The wrestlers that you've worked with, who's one of your favorite, besides Craig Niles, excuse me, who's one of your other favorite persons, either as a tag team or as an opponent, that you just really have enjoyed? You've had that it factor with them, that chemistry. Who's a person you've worked with that?
my favorite tag partner, has got to be Wolfie D or Cerebus. When I tagged with him, that was good times. But here lately, it's Rex Amadeus.
Amadeus.
He's only been working, not very long, but dude, we click whenever we get in there. He's fun.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you guys lately, I've seen a lot of these newcomers. Like when I interviewed Judy a few weeks ago, and she said, "I've only been in the business less than a year." I was shocked, just because of her abilities and how she has grown. I mean, I thought she'd been 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and she never watched wrestling.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, she never watched wrestling until she started doing it. So, like, when I say something, she has no clue what I'm talking about. I gotta explain it, but she gets it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how long you've been. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Gary.
No, I was gonna say it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. It's when it starts clicking and making sense.
Mm-hmm.
And for her, and it just started clicking for her right away, like when and why and good guy, bad guy concept, and it clicked for her really quick.
Yeah. And now for you, you said it took a few years.
Yeah.
I believe
where I very first started, before I started going to Harleys and stuff, we were training ourselves. We really didn't have a trainer. We'd show up twice a week and wing it. So I don't know if it was. I don't want to go back and watch those early matches. They're pretty rough.
I can understand that. No, but I mean, you guys seem to have you and Craig and those guys that are the trainers down there for Mid States. I've heard nothing but good things about the training. It's not half-ass, if you will. It is, and your teaching and your mentoring. Is that just? And I know it's not everywhere, but I mean, is it because you guys just all click together as trainers? Like, okay, this is what we're doing, blah blah blah, or how does that kind of click for you guys?
I don't know how to explain that one. That's
sorry.
Yeah. No, I usually get either 1 to 3 moves or a good spot, and I run them through it until they don't got to think about it no more.
Okay.
I don't listen to their complaints and gripes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can leave. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear the reason why they don't want to do something. But you do it my way. At least
my way or the highway, right?
Yeah. At least while we're here. You can change it later. But today you're doing it this way.
So besides wrestlers, do you guys train refs, managers? How
We've trained a handful of refs come through, but so many people come in and say they want to manage or something and don't come back next week because they got to realize that you got to learn how to bump even if you're going to be a manager, and that usually runs so many people off.
Yeah, because you get the same fundamentals basically. Is what
Yeah.
is that what I'm understanding? Is that you still gonna get thrown into the ropes? You're still gonna get slammed onto the mat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, your first few trainings are gonna be the same no matter what you want to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna make you take a bunch of back bumps and see if you show back up.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. This is Brian Ferguson, the host of Bumps and Thumps, the talk of wrestling. I want to tell you about a new podcast out called Falls Count Anywhere. It is a classic pro wrestling podcast that brings you the legends of wrestling with true wrestling fans Chris DiCarlo and Charlie Turner. They bring on guests that are legends in this business, as well as wrestlers of today, promoters, referees, you name it. They have them on there, folks. And I encourage you to listen to them. If you're on YouTube, watch them. They drop every Saturday. They have their podcast. They drop it in the afternoon. So look forward to that podcast coming out. Falls Count Anywhere podcast with Chris DiCarlo and Charlie Turner. Folks, you will not be disappointed. I guarantee it. And enjoy the podcast. If you walk back in and next week, you know you've done something, right?
Oh yeah. Shoot, going up to Harley's and Skip would kick our butts.
Yeah.
You remember Skip?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a tough place. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. He didn't want me coming back, but I kept coming back, and then he finally started showing me stuff.
So, where else have you worked? I mean, in Kansas, Arkansas, Missouri. Have you worked up at Herb Simmons, SICW?
Yeah, I've done a couple there, and I'm going to do their big fan fest here coming up.
Are you? I'm going to be there. Awesome.
Right on. Yeah.
I'll be there.
Good deal.
I will be there. Yes. So, is there a big difference between the promotions as far as, I don't know, I guess the vibe as far as, okay, this is a place I really want to be. I know there's probably a few out there, but I mean, overall, your experience in this area, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kansas, these promotions, these indies, are they pretty much ran the same, or are they way out left in one and one's,
Well, they're all different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some places there's actual promoters, and then there's guys who are just marks with money. Like you go up to Herb's. Herb's is ran real good. I'm a big fan of Herb. His is good, but the styles are different. Like you go to Harrison, they don't want flipping and flying. They just want good guy, bad guy. You go up to Herb's, they like strong style. They like you beating the crap out of each other up there.
Yeah.
You just got to go and see what each crowd likes. Like Kansas, they love the faster pace. I'm getting older. I can't keep up, but
I tell you right now, my favorite wrestler up in SICW is Attila Khan. That guy.
Oh yeah.
Love that guy. I think his character is just unbelievable. And he's a great guy. I've met him in person. Met him out at Vegas last year at the CAC reunion, and just so I'm excited.
I met him years and years ago, and didn't realize that's him now. When I saw him with the beard and everything, it was surprising. So I knew him 15 years ago.
Yeah,
didn't even recognize him.
But
he's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. All right, a couple more questions. One is, what's up next for you? What's some things coming up here for you? I know you said the Fan Fest, the weekend of Mother's Day weekend.
Yes.
You got some other events coming up here?
Like I said, I'm going to start working for WFC.
Okay.
Gonna go over there. They're gonna let me hit a little bit. Gonna be fun.
All right.
So, still be Gary Graham, but gonna change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then always gonna do mid stage wrestling here in Arkansas, Missouri. Been doing a little bit of. We're slowly trying to put a TV show together, so I've been dabbling a little producing and stuff.
Oh, good.
That's a blast.
Good.
Something I've always wanted to try to do.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, great. All right. So coming up, some shows coming up for you. I'm excited about this, the Fan Fest thing in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be
Yeah.
They just come out today with Baron Von Raschke coming.
I seen that.
Oh.
I'm the one guy I have never met is Barry Horowitz. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a who's who of guys from the back in the day, and for what you're paying for it, I mean, I bought my ticket back in January, but that's a bargain.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bargain. And I know you probably got to pay a few bucks for a couple autographs and stuff, but just being there and talking to those guys for a few minutes is just going to, and yourselves and the matches later on in the evening. I'm just pumped and I'm excited.
Yeah.
Who are you? Can you tell me who you're wrestling, or is that still on the?
Well, I'm gonna do the King Kong Brody Battle Royal, or Bruiser Brody, doing that Battle Royal, and I'm trying to talk Herb into let me have a match, but we'll see.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one last time, Mr. Gary Roosevelt Gram, thank you for coming on today. Appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you in St. Louis. And, just if you're out, folks, at Indies in Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kansas, you see him on the poster, go to the show.
I appreciate
He's
that.
the Southern Heavyweight Champion. Great guy. And looking forward to seeing you here in a few weeks. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, Gary Roosevelt Gram, sir, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right. And folks, if you're watching, thank you. If you're listening, thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And we'll talk to you soon.